Thank you very much. Well, we're just waiting for one more play to connect to the server before we get into this one. Looking at what you saw from both teams in the last two maps, do you have a favourite going into this third map?
I still feel like I'd probably edge it to VP. I still just think they have the better players across the board. Like the Des was saying as well, A-Core has been so quiet, and that has to change. He's got to be the best player on the team. Like we've been saying it, Shush has been great. I think he's been fantastic in this series, but we haven't seen as much from the other members of Mad Lions. So I'm saying VP just because I think we saw a lot more from their individuals on Inferno.
As it is the third map, there will be a knife round to decide who starts on the CT side, essentially it being trained. It's got to be crazy to start on the T side, especially in the third map. So we'll see how that goes very shortly indeed.
I will say as well, just on top of what the desk was pointing out there, with A-Core not always being the most assertive AWPer, like stats-wise, he is way better on the CT side than the T side, which kind of makes sense to me. If he's not always having that confidence to take those T-sided fights, he's going to be way better on CT. Like, he has a 1.32 CT rating in the last 6 months. That is really good. Only 1.09 on the T side, so that's a bit of a discrepancy. There is VP winning that knife round though, James, and I think we all know where they're going to go with that. Indeed.
Won't hesitate at all. Straight to the CT side. Well, let's see what these teams have to offer themselves, or each other rather. James had a deep breath before that knife round started. There's a lot of money on the line in this tournament, and he wants to head towards it, not away from it.
This is the tournament VP said they were fully focusing on, actually. Recently, they were saying they don't care about their losses in some of the other ones. They're taking that as experience. They've got some experience against EU teams now. They wanted to go all the way in this one. If they want to do that, they've got to prove it here on this third map.
James has been made the CZ75 raid boss, which is very interesting. You can see him charging up towards upper B. Doesn't have the sound cues immediately for a jump down. It would be a very nice spray indeed. Now he's at close range. There's no guarantee he even gets a kill here. And indeed he won't. He'll pepper, but won't be able to finish off the job. KiNK only good for one. Spots two on a kill cam with the bomb as well. And we can see the rotation. But Mad Lions surely go back to the A bomb site. They fully rotated away. Roy's at old bomb now and has taken control of pretty much the entire A bomb site. They could try and get someone towards Ivy, but Sanji's got something to say about that. Again coming in clutch in another pistol round.
Really nice shots from Sanji. He's started to show up as this game has gone on. The bomb is going back towards B. Refresh has taken a bit of damage, but Sanji's unable to secure the headshot. Now Refresh gets up close into the front lines, but Buster has got him, and now it's A-Core getting onto the site. The bomb plant is nice, but he's not got Kevlar. He's not got a great chance here as he's trapped on the bomb train.
Yeah, and that range is not too useful for him. If they both shoot each other in the head, it's he who will die. And you can see he's been dinked now, down to 32 HP. He's in a lot of trouble, A-Core. Just waiting for him to get close enough for that Glock to be a one-shot. But Buster will abuse the USP. Sanji again with important frags. Another important 2K in a pistol, which helps Virtus.pro get off to a successful start on their CT side.
Especially considering he didn't have Kevlar. I think he was the man that might have dropped the CZ to James.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And I do wonder with those CZ plays, right? So the CZ gets dropped to James with Kevlar. I almost wonder if you're better off with like a 5-7 in that spot. Because you still get the insta headshot, I think, against the players without the helmets.
Well, it's the CZ or the 5-7 or the Julies in the spot where you think you're going to get rushed. But I think it might be easier to manage with the CZ, depending on how many you think you're going
I just think, like, are you ever going to get more than 2 with the CZ?
Yeah, it depends. If you are in a position where you can use a smoke on a 5-7, that could be interesting as well. But what's even more interesting is the 3 AKs on the hands of Mad Lions. Make it 2 because your Kindar's up top. Make it 1 because Refresh has been barbecued. A-Core now with 39 HP. Oh boy, there's going to be a lot of rifles to collect the way this is going. Yakindar's looking for one of them. He's standing on it. He's picked it up. A-Core behind the smoke. So now we've got 2 M4A4s and an AK-47, but Yakindar needs to stay alive here should they win this round. Still doable for Mad Lions, but not going to be easy.
Buster hits him with the reload. A-Core is just sneaking out through A main. Now he's been spotted though. He backs up. Oh, the molly hasn't gone as far as he would have wanted. Oh, Shish had the chance there. If that's a headshot, maybe there's a way into the round. The body shot is not going to suffice though. A-Core sneaking forwards. But they've already spotted him previously. They should have a decent idea that there's a chance he can be between these trains, and Buster is very well prepared for it. That's 5 kills on the board now for Buster off the back of the first 2 rounds, and it's going to have to be a save for Mad Lions.
2 AK-47s collected from Virtus.pro is pretty good.
Okay, KiNK's bought a Nova.
It's a good round to buy a Nova.
Yeah, like the $900 kill reward, I don't even think the gun costs much more than that. So if he can get up close with it, I don't mind it.
Ironically, this gun costs £600 in real life. If
Really?
If you were interested, yeah, I bought one, so. I know. 3 HE grenades for Mad Lions in the hands of Hooksy, Shush, and I think it was Refresh. They've come and gone, but Roy's the one who's going to be deleted by Shrapnel. They have, however, made inroads towards CT Spawn Mad Lions, which could be making things awkward for Virtus.pro. Jane running out of Deagle bullet, still alive somehow. Has he got any help? The knife is on the way, but so is the bomb. He'll collect that at the very least. A-Core won't last much longer. 1 kill. The Nova was compromised, so KiNK didn't lose that much in terms of money. And now the real game begins.
James got the AWP. A-Core has money, but right now he would have to go without Kevlar if he wants that. Let's have a look. A-Core's still making up his mind, but he does go for the sniper. This is what the desk wanted to see. They wanted to see the AWP on AWP action. They wanted to see who's going to get the better of it. So far, you can see, according to that stat, James has been getting way more AWP kills in this series. Let's see if that's going to change on Train.
Quickly towards Ladderim versus Pro. Aggressive positions on A in this first buy versus buy round. See if Yakindar makes his way into main. There's mollies on either side. The team molly will be to delay, and he's caught off by Hooksy, in fact. Virtus.pro close to Ladderim, but didn't quite make it in or stay in. Now Sanj will be by the sandwich position. That's a great, maybe that's a good awareness from Mad Lions there, because with that deep molly from Virtus.pro in main, I think the intention was clear that Yakindar was going to get flashed in at some point. Sort of counter molly, which left him in no man's land, and then now Mad Lions find themselves with a man advantage.
Hooksy's definitely someone to keep an eye on as well, just because he's the IGL and the least experienced player on Mad Lions. And Maui Snake was pointing out previously, he's had some struggles against the top teams, putting up frags in some of these really important games. So now that we're heading into playoffs, there's a big question as to how Hooksy's going to deal with the pressure of the playoffs of the biggest tournament he's been in. Flash is coming into the B site though. KiNK here to hold, and KiNK's got 2 kills. Great lineup, and even though A-Core finds the trade, it's a 2v3. The bomb is dropped on the site. This is not feeling good for the Danes.
A-Core didn't quite spot Spools, and he will be exposed to pretty much the entire site there, not realizing that Buster was already in B. That leaves Hooksy with much to do. A long spray. Got to get that reload in. 17 seconds to plant the bomb. Trying to spot. The AWP will be on the way soon. Oh, Jame now. He's made it 1 versus 1, Hooksy. Managed to plant in the site. Jame on the way with the pistol out. He knows Hooksy's low, but he's not low enough. Hooksy straight deleting. A brutal clutch from him. 4 kills in total. Just wiping everybody out on that B bomb site. He made that look like he was smurfing.
Yeah, welcome to Train, Hooksy. He showed up in that round, just as I was wondering how he'd perform on this map, because again, it is the playoffs. It's Hooksy as the IGL of a team, and he's never really been at this level before. So to see him stepping up individually with a really huge clutch, that could be everything, because now VP have to fully reinvest into this round. They don't have a kit in this one, and if they lose this round, that's when Mad Lions could start to go huge, and Shush has already traded. It's going to be a fast play out A.
I feel like we need a ladder icon if you're getting a kill while you're standing on a ladder, because that was just absolutely ridiculous. And indeed, Mad Lions starting to stream, but the stream is turning into a little trinkle now as A-Core and Refresh are the only men remaining. But maybe there is a chance. Of course there is. Refresh's fan too. A-Core has an angle now on Ivy, and Bus is going to walk straight into it, but he's missed his shot somehow. He's the one getting tagged. So VP know roughly where the Mad Lions players are. There's one question mark in these Virtus.pro players, and it's KiNK. There he is. And suddenly Refresh is alone. 2 kills already, still with the Galil, looking for a third. He's got the bomb at the very least. Question is, where does he go? I think he just saw both players at the same time with that peek. So off he goes to the B bomb site.
Oh, I bet he wished he didn't have the Galil here. Interesting. Flash maybe to fake things out. He is now going to walk out through upper. KiNK's arrived with the FAMAS. Steps made. Has KiNK heard that? I'm not sure. Is he looking up? I can't tell.
Perhaps not, because Buster's not moving.
Oh no. Oh, he hasn't seen him. Oh my god. Refresh. So unfortunate. KiNK gets it with the FAMAS. Virtus.pro stay on top.
Well, Refresh, always a dangerous player. A late 2K there in an unlikely round. Still didn't win it, but damage was done, and that may pay off in the rounds to come as well. However, Mad Lions have poverty status for this one. They'll take a timeout. Maybe they'll invest something into this. Trailing by 3 at present. Not too shabby a half a VP at the moment. But this will be, well, I'm interested to see if Mad Lions will invest something into this. Do they go for like a hero AK or something? Because if they're discussing where they think Virtus.pro's economy is at right now, then there may be work to be done. The odd flashbang and smoke for some teammates. And who the hell knows?
Especially because Refresh has a bit of extra money. He could even maybe buy an AK and drop it for a teammate and still be able to buy next round. So that could potentially be an option, which I wouldn't mind seeing. Looks like Refresh instead is going to save all his money, though. So maybe seeing they can get the AWP in the future. A.Core also has a good amount of cash. He will not be investing anything. So just a few pistols for Mad Lions. I've got to say, I think this is going to be a decent test on this Mad Lions team of Peacemaker as a coach, because he was saying in interviews he gets on really well with Hooksy. He thinks that they have a good idea of how to play this modern style of CS where you've got to be fighting all the time. Peacemaker was saying a lot of positive things about this lineup. So I think his influence on the team is something we've got to watch out for as well. Sanji already cleaning up with the MP9, getting extra money, and he's going to give it to his teammate now. Yakindar gets to go with it. This is really nicely done by VP.
It really is. Trying to limit their damage. Refresh has the bomb. KiNK has the upper angle.
That was a wallbang from Connector James just landed.
Not bad. It's a Smear special as well. See if he goes right enough. Not quite. Fun though. There we go. Virtus.pro will survive that one without much issue. Another buy begins again for Mad Lions. Looking for their second round on the T side of terrain. Utility will be very important indeed. And they'll have a lot of it.
Damn, Yakindar's stick with the MP9. Sanji getting the M4 for the round. Now we know Yakindar loves to go aggressive. I think that Maui brought up was ridiculous. It was something like 38% of he tries to get the first kill on CT side. So he pushes as that first man on CT. This time though, Mad Lions a lot of ground early. Roy has pushed all the way in towards Hell. Could make life very uncomfortable for VP.
Refresh going down first is a very important kill for Virtus.pro.
What?
Oh my god, Roy's completely messed up his spray. Versus 4 in favor of Virtus.pro. Yakindar picks up the AWP's low health. It makes sense. Avoiding the spray of Hooksy. That's a great flick from Yakindar. Leaving Shush with 10 HP. The scenes around Sandwich, absolutely crazy. When you get those fast grenades out from the T's and a smoke which bounces to smoke off Ivy, you've got to be aware of that. It could be someone by Hell. Maybe it was a communications error or something, but no harm done for now.
Shush, the last man alive. Not much he can do, apart from damage, which won't be allowed. Yakindar, quad kill on the round. And when you see Yakindar get a quad kill there after Roy whiffs that spray onto him, you've got to be frustrated with how that round pans out. Remember, Yakindar had that MP9 to begin with, so for him to show up in that round, to get between those trains and get some early kills, very impressive stuff. Now VP have got the double AWP setup going. It's another game where it doesn't feel like the AWPers have had much impact yet. Maybe it's going to be Buster on the AWP that makes the difference, because he's top fragging right now, and he's picked up that secondary AWP ahead of this one.
What a start to train for Virtus.pro. Very much on the opposite end of the spectrum to how this series started. Buster saw the bait coming, missed both opportunities, but they haven't really conceded position. I'll see 2 players towards IV for now. A 3-2 setup from Virtus.pro. They haven't seen the bomb just yet. Not too concerned with 4 players on A, as they know that for the most part this is pistols for Mad Lions. And they have a flash on Hooksy now, Mad Lions, and that's about it. So progress will be difficult, but with an AK in the hands of Refresh, anything is possible.
Would be very nice if Mad Lions had just a couple of extra nades here. Maybe a single smoke to get down ramp could make a pretty decent difference. KiNK's going aggressive towards upper. If they don't clear this out, that's a very strong spot to be in to deny the bomb plant. He's also got James to help him with the AWP. And I think Mad Lions are just going to try and pop down ramp. If that's the case, KiNK's in such a good spot to deny them. He gets the first spray, and now KiNK just needs to stay alive up here. All he needs to do is try and deny that bomb plant. Mad Lions forced onto the site to try and get that bomb down. KiNK's not going to be able to deny it, but the round is almost certainly won. KiNK falls, but Refresh has lots to do. That's a nice shot. 1v3 remaining, and Buster gets him out of there.
Yeah, Mad Lions did a good job of planting the bomb while keeping the AK alive and with good health. And again, Refresh very dangerous. Makes it expensive towards the end. That's minus $12,000 for Virtus.pro, but it is 7 rounds on the board to the one of Mad Lions, and that's the most important thing we're looking at here. All the X's around the B bomb site. The high ground for the CTs really compromises where the bomb can be planted. So it's impressive they managed to get that far, but we can see the frustrations now. This is the last map, the final map of this series, and Mad Lions have got to get some rounds on the board. That's only... Well, if you ignore the pistol, really, because it's not relevant in terms of bomb plants, there's been a distinct lack of bomb plants in this map so far, which is indicative of the success that Mad Lions are having. Roy 1 for 8, Acor 2, Shush 2 for 8 as well. And there's the play we were looking at earlier, but there's a sound cue as well. But Yakinda will still get 2, maybe even a 3rd. Sanji actually with 2 of the 3, in fact. And Jame will make it 4. Shush suddenly alone. No one replying on the radio. Once again. A minute 24, and this round is donezo.
This is exactly what Maui was pointing out on the desk. You have to be able to deny Yakinda from going for those aggressive plays towards A main. It is doable as well. It's doable to stop that from happening. I think the problem Mad Lions have there is just not having players in A main to begin with. They were lining up the smokes over the top, which normally can work pretty well in conjunction with players in A main so that they can cut down on some of those angles. But as soon as Yakinda gets up close, they're fully focused on trying to clear him out, and Sanji just unloads, gets himself 2 kills. Great work from VP. They just look really on point on this one.
Yeah, and perhaps we saw an adjustment from Virtus.pro. Again, the last time I noticed they tried to do that, there was a counter molly from Mad Lions at the entrance, the mouth of main, to stop Yakinda from pushing, and they got picked off from the ladder room. This time, great success. Sanji's there for the double peek as well. And Mad Lions get absolutely deleted. And this is the thing, Virtus.pro, they're changing their plays and formations from round to round, so it's not like they can necessarily counter that this round, Mad Lions. So they've got a lot of problems coming their way, and most of them are bullet-shaped. 1 round to the 8th of Virtus.pro. The scouts for Acor, not a good sign as they look for only their 2nd round of this map.
Seeing a lot of rounds where Mad Lions go for these early aggressions as well, which I think is part of the reason why Acor's not been able to have any impact so far in this game. He's oftentimes been kind of following up with the AWP, it feels like, which is not easy to do. We also haven't seen this B site tested too often when there are AKs in play. KiNK's forced away early. Jame is able to rotate into position though. Still plenty of nades for Mad Lions though. If they could put a couple of smokes down into the back lines, maybe some flashes over the top, that could certainly work for them.
Hot flashes on the way down. Jame at the back. KiNK with a great spray through the smoke. Hooksy making inroads, looking for a multi-frag. Okay then, that's one way to do it. Wiping everybody out on the B-bomb site. Buster considering his options, but he's facing a Molotov as well. And the Hooksy hunt continues. That is exactly what Mad Lions needed. Fill the scoreboard with body bags for Virtus.pro. There's plenty of money for the CT side, but that's definitely a great confidence play, especially coming from Hooksy.
Yeah, for the IGL as well, like you were saying, that's huge. I think that's about as well as this round could have gone for Mad Lions in that sense. Just get Hooksy some confidence back in some of these calls. The execute onto the B site works really well. I think that's something Mad Lions can now maybe try and test VP with. Maybe they can start faking plays towards B, because this is the first time I think we've really seen a full commitment with nades on a full gun round to that B site. Great work from Hooksy, and he is someone who oftentimes will play as that aggressive player in some of these rounds. So seeing him getting some early kills, that's got to be a big boost for Mad Lions, and they've got to make sure they can keep that momentum rolling.
That really didn't dent Virtus.pro's economy too much.
No.
As we can see, Buster and Yekindar are still over 10k after 2 AWPs have been bought on the side of Virtus.pro. Maybe losing money by winning rounds prior to that one. But let's see now. This can change the tide for Mad Lions. Kindle having a look downstairs.
So Refresh is throwing some fake nades to A here. You can see on the minimap there is a fake smoke on towards the A site, deployed by the Ts. VP don't care though. They've just rotated 3 players to the B site. They know this is going to be the same play, and VP are so well prepared.
KiNK's holding an incendiary out. You can see Yekindar under the big ladder, if you will, near Hooksy's position. And here comes the execute. So a lot of fire on this B bomb site, a lot of smoke as well. KiNK forced forward into the hands of Roy. Sanji, so many targets for him, doesn't know which one to pick. And this hold will not happen for Virtus.pro. Now we're starting to talk here for Mad Lions. Let's not forget, 7 rounds are possible. We saw a comeback late in the first half from Virtus.pro on Inferno, and we might be seeing the same thing here from Mad Lions. Now the money starts to become a concern. Buster and Yekindar are going to have to splash the cash. Sugar Daddy's on deck. Mad Lions heading toward a 3rd round. It seems everybody will survive this one as Virtus.pro have abandoned ship. It seems the execute was simply too great.
I'm very interested to see how VP adapt to this now, because you can just play retake on that B site if you keep some nades on the CT side. And in this round, they commit 3 players to the site and don't get a single kill from it. It's weird as well, because I think that was pretty much the same play from Mad Lions, but it still looked like VP weren't really that ready to fight together, even though they probably should have known these smokes that were coming in. You see there, KiNK just goes first. There was no one really to follow him up, and then the player towards the back of the bomb site, Yekindar, was hoping he could maybe line up multiple kills. That was not meant to be. So Mad Lions get a 3rd round win, and VP decide they need to take a timeout ahead of this next round. This is where I wouldn't mind seeing Jame, for example, maybe peek up a B. Like this spawn, you can peek up a B with it, and it might be time to just switch up one of those AWPs, get one of those snipers into a more aggressive position, just to spot for that early information.
Dying seconds of the timeout from Virtus.pro. They will know the gravity of the situation for this round. If they were to get wiped out here, they would start to have some problems defending, buying the tools they want for the job. The AK-47s are out for Mad Lions, their 1st consecutive round, 2 in a row. Now let's see if they can take this game by the reins and start to catch up with Virtus.pro, looking to head towards 10 rounds on their CT side, VP. Sanji trying to avoid flashes as he makes his way towards the ladder room. The molly to control the upper area of B. And it's important because Jame is lurking there with an AWP. He does, however, have KiNK to spot lower, so I think he will re-aggress and maybe KiNK can rotate. But will it come in time?
VP have the information at A, though. They have players pushed in, but Shush lands that shot. And now KiNK has to be the anchor on this B site. VP might be able to rotate still here. Yeah, Kindar's pushed all the way in through A main. He just peeked all the way in. I think VP realize it's not going to be a standard play through that A main position, and they're going to start to rotate. They think they've got enough information off that CT aggression. Hang on a minute, where are VP rotating? They're not sure. They've got 2 players on B. Yakindar's trying to cover this Ivy position from the back trains. Buster's also here. The smoke is not going to be in time, but it's not going to get the kill. Yakindar finally pulling the trigger.
Where is the bomb going, though? Towards that B bomb site, in fact. KiNK still lurking. He's going to hit a sound cues of Hooksy in the ladder room. Playing for the multi-frag, there's A.K.O. Hooksy spraying through the smoke, the tracers. This is a big problem now. Hooksy on a reload. KiNK can't get up the ladder in time, the stairs in fact, as Shush comes in from the back, and it's 4 rounds for Mad Lions. Very complicated run, and indeed we could see on the radar the panic from Virtus.pro. Yakinda conceded position towards ladder room, which was really important. With the presence from Ivy, the question was, where do we go? Because the bomb can potentially rotate now through ladder, which has been opened up. They can split from Ivy. Decisions had to be made. Bomb goes up a B. And here we are, 4 rounds in a row for Mad Lions. Virtus.pro now have bought within an inch of their economy. Very key round for Mad Lions to win if they want 7.
And if they get 7, they can be pretty happy with that on the T side of Train. If they can keep this going, that would be fantastic. Sanji right now pushed into Pop Dog. It's not normally the play you see here. Oftentimes it'll be Yakinda, who now comes to join Sanji. Nade goes up, not doing too much damage, although Shush may now be a one-shot from those M4s. Early smokes again from Mad Lions. You can see on the minimap that's to cut down on some of the angles that the CTs can spot them from, so that maybe Mad Lions can start to push out between these trains and try and wrap towards the site. The issue is they haven't taken away the Pop Dog control, so Yakinda can sit in that position quite comfortably, but the peek from Sanji is ill-advised. He goes down early.
He is doing a lot for them in that round as well. And now the rest of the team will have to pick up the slack. Buster's got to be really careful about his shadows here. Hooksy's angle, we'll see Buster's shadow first, and I think maybe he's trying to bait him with his little jerks backwards and forwards. Some sound cues for Hooksy now, but that could be a bait as well because Yakinda is close. Just able to pull his rifle out after throwing the pop flash for his teammate. And that allows him to hold some real estate. Could be in trouble. That smoke will certainly help him focus on the upper area, but Roy will deliver the kill. 2 kills for Roy now, and 1 for A.K.O. to look to clean out the rest of Virtus.pro. And again, there are big money problems for VP. This is where the tide surely changes in favor of Mad Lions.
Jame already trying to see if he can get to a safer spot to save from. I think Sanji falling for VP there makes such a big difference in that round. I think if Sanji survives, Yakinda can probably stay in Pop Dog and have a really good position to try and cut off some of those players pushing out through A main. If he can just survive in Pop Dog, it causes all sorts of issues for Mad Lions on that push. Because then you've got to be scared of all these different angles as well as Pop Dog. You know, there's so many angles on the site. Then if there's a player in ladder as well, you're in real trouble. But he had to reposition because he didn't feel comfortable just leaving one teammate on the A site. And it just made the whole hole just much more uncomfortable.
Yeah, in that round, Sanji was first in the ladder room. Had to swing out, go to E-box to drop an incendiary, stop the T-push. And then go towards Sandwich to throw a pop flash for his teammate to peek Ivy. But it was a peek towards main, which opened the proceedings for Mad Lions on the A-bomb site. Well then, Virtus.pro still able to squeeze out a buy, so not over just yet. But it is 4 rounds in a row for Mad Lions now. A lot of momentum in their favor. Less flashes and some decoys for Virtus.pro. Nan's a KiNK, but that's a great way to start. Sanji and Buster combining for a 5-on-3. A.K.O. had to land that shot. It's been a dry half for him so far, but he still has a chance to make some impact, or does he? Buster will delete him as James is boosted in connector. And suddenly Hooksy's alone. 1 versus 5. He gets his bell rung as he gets the first kill, and there will be no second. Shrapnel again as Virtus.pro make it to 9.
Somewhat surprising to see Mad Lions go back to a fast play in this round, because Virtus.pro at the start of this game, they were shutting down those fast A main plays with the early mollies. They do it again in this one. Even though the flashes were fairly effective, Sanji just about spots those players before he's blinded. He dodged the first flashbang at least so he could line them up, and then Buster, clinical with that M4A1S in the back lines, gives VP a 9th round win. Again, A.K.O. still very quiet in this one. He's still playing with the same confidence. You can see in his movement, you can see in his peaks that A.K.O. is at least still trying to take the fights confidently. He's just not been landing the shots here on Train. Real surprise.
Yeah, a whiff there from the ladder room. CT sides are where the AWP luxuries are. Jame 9 for 5 at present. See if A.K.O. can turn things around once it's his turn in the second half. But first we need a conclusion of the first half. AWP's on deck for both. HE grenades for the potential early push rather than the Molotov, which is interesting. James very close to the AWP. Keep an eye on the radar as we see KiNK alone towards that B bomb site. Sanji in ladder room now. Avoids the flashbang. 3-man on road towards upper B. Second and third man rotate in from Virtus.pro.
This might work a bit better for them with the B stack. Having the man in upper, never mind.
God.
He's blind and he's dead. They're rotating a third man over to B again, though. Buster's going to arrive just as this push comes in.
Yeah, and there's the bomb. That's all the information they need. Sanji will hear the rotation from Shush upstairs as well.
Oh, what?
He's already made his way upstairs, actually, and the walking begins. They're looking for that flank, and that helps, but the bomb is still committed to the B bomb site. 45 seconds, and it seems that Shush may flank. Virtus.pro playing further back, though, already looking for this, it seems, with the movements of Buster focusing on connector. They call by the B ramp, and indeed Shush is moving in, but is it to his doom? I think he's had some sound cues there, showing some presence, smoking off one side, but James is waiting on the other. Can't bait the shot in the right way. Hooksy up top once again. Now, can he have a repeat performance where he got a 3K previously? Similar positions, looking for the burst from the taps. Oh my God, that's a flurry of headshots, leaving A-Core alone. 12 seconds to try and plant the bomb. It's in his hands, but can he punch in the numbers? The CTs are coming. 6 seconds, 5 seconds, goes for the fake, looking for the elimination. They won't both come by the oil. Oh my God, can he get around the corner? The time runs out. Oh, it'd be so close, but here we are. 10 rounds for Virtus.pro in their CT half of train. Mad Lions have so much to do in the second.
It took them a while to get going, but VP are now 5 rounds to the good on the final map of this series. Remember, this is the upper bracket. There will still be second chances for whoever loses this game, but right now it's looking very likely that VP will be continuing in that upper bracket.
We've got an aggressive push in B. Refresh and Roy moving up top with the USPs. Oh, welcome.
No.
Thank you for the bomb, say Mad Lions. This is the start they needed, but will it be the finish they want? Maybe it will be, because that bomb's in a horrible position. Sanji and KiNK with Glocks versus the USPs for Mad Lions. Shush picking up a Glock for the extra bullets at close range, which is fine. They've got a flashbang as well. Do they use it as a fake flash and bounce it up top? Or do they drop it all the way? Oh boy, maybe it doesn't matter now because Sanji falls to his doom, as does KiNK. Unceremonious way to lose the pistol round. Exactly what Mad Lions needed. That gives A.Core the chance he's looking for to get that AWP going a little later on.
I think they screwed up this drop. So you see James got his back turns there. I think the idea is James has his back of his head turned because it's really hard to hit those headshots. And then he just wants to drop down first and try and run the distraction. I think he doesn't want to go on the ladder though. He just wants to drop straight down so that his teammate can land on his head and have the chance to get the kills. Instead, going on the ladder makes that drop so slow that it's so much easier for Mad Lions to get those kills, especially with 2 players stacked in Pop Dog. And as you said, this gives Mad Lions a great chance to build up some early bank. But VP have forced. Fully forced as well. James isn't even saving this time. He's got the scout.
A.Core has a good angle. Those bullets will run out quickly though, but he'll almost manage to get 3. He'll get 2. That really makes things easier for his team. Oh, look at that transfer with the AUG. So easy. MP9, not the ideal weapon at range there. So the one they can risk losing. So yeah, that pistol round strat, like the back of the face, if you will, is normally implemented bunny hopping backwards into a bomb site, but with a vertical implementation, looked very awkward indeed. Big risk to commit the bomb there. And such is life. Mad Lions now, 7th round on the board, and A.Core is really not far away from AWP in the next one. See, as Zeus has been collected by KiNK, maybe looking for an aggressive B play? No, downstairs instead. That aggressive B play was on the way. If he jumped over the rail, who knows, the meeting of the minds could have been interesting. Oh, no. Denied.
A.Core wants money. He wants that AWP. He's already got 2 SMG kills. KiNK down to 5 health now. I think that was all from nades as well. He's not had a fun time. Neither of any of the VP players. The full save, it goes terribly for them, but that's fine. They can get the guns out now. Will we see James go for the AWP? He can afford it. He can get Kevlar as well, so I assume he will be buying that sniper momentarily. The rest of the squad with the AKs. A.Core has got the AWP on the CT side as well. I was pointing out previously, A.Core has a whopping 1.32 rating on his CT side. He does much better on his CT side in general. This is where A.Core has to prove that stat right.
He will be starting upper B, it seems. Will there be a Molotov to deter him? Oh, there'll be a smoke instead, actually, so he will see not much of anything. And look what that means to the rotation. Shush has to fly back immediately to watch lower, just in case. That smoke thwarting all the intentions, and Virtus.pro not messing around. They've got places to be, and that's the B bomb site. Molotov to try and stop the plant, but in the meantime, let's see if Virtus.pro can stream down to the other side and try and take some control. Kind of stuck at the back at the moment, and that molly's landed perfectly, in fact, and really contained them. Look at the rotation. The entire Mad Lions team are here. That was a god incendiary, but what can they do after the plant?
VP trying to push forward, realizing they've got to take some fights, and it's not going badly for them. Into a 3v3, but Shush wrapping around the side. Easy kill in the back. And now Buster has to try and do something from this position. He's in this aggressive spot. He's got to be the difference maker, but it's not happening for him right now. He's not getting the fights he wanted. Still no one really on that bomb, but Buster's got his back turned, and now James has to do it all. We haven't seen him clutch so far, and he's not going to be allowed it this time either. A.Core lands the shot from above. Mad Lions just happy to play the 5v5 retake. That's something VP never really did on the B side, but Mad Lions are very effective with it.
That incendiary really had Virtus.pro stuck by that curb position. That was huge. Because again, ideally, you want to take the entire train yard, not just around a bomb plant, to stop the CTs from streaming in, but they were stuck. 3 of them all in the same position, and Mad Lions had 5 players at the back of the train yard, I think before the bomb was even planted, which is not something you normally see. With that bomb plant, Virtus.pro will be on another buy. So both teams bringing guns into this one. Oh, I've got something to say about that actually in a second. Sometimes you see 3 players line up HE grenades in the halls for a push like that, and when they land, oh my god, is it glorious. Hughes now stuck in sandwich and dropped, and here comes the burst onto the A-bomb site.
They're so fast, VP. You can't wait a second or they're just going to push you. Roy getting 1 kill. It's actually a Molly team kill. Why has that Molly landed there? We will never know, but we will know that VP have the site control. 2 of them low on health. There are nades on the CT side, but I'm not sure that Mad Lions know how much damage they've done. If only Refresh could maybe chuck a nade somewhere, get a kill or 2, then maybe they would think about it, but a 2v4 isn't really that likely. I think for Mad Lions as well, something I remember from their previous train game was that Shush was really good at holding that B site, but Hooksy was having some problems in that aggressive position around Sandwich, around Olaf. He was getting picked there a lot, and if you die there early on the CT side, rounds like that are going to happen to you. If you go down without a fight in that aggressive position towards A main, the Ts are just going to be able to swarm the bomb site, and it becomes way too difficult for the CTs to hold all those angles. So if that's something that's set to continue, if Hooksy struggles in that spot, that could be something that VP continue to try to exploit. Because once that first kill happens, look at how many angles the players on the backside have to deal with. It's just so hard for them. Ah, that was the Molly that killed his teammate. Okay.
Yeah, so I guess it was either meant to land there or at stop sign. Either way, it spilled, it spread. Virtus.pro on the board in this second half. 5 AKs on deck. Plenty of util once again. The flashbangs are out. Acor in connector. One of 4 men on the A-bomb site. He'll be the fast rotator should it be required for the time being. But maybe he'll switch with Refresh now. He makes his way towards B as presence is established above B by Virtus.pro. Seems Refresh will go deep in towards the B-bomb site. Holding an angle by Oil towards lower. It's a very good position for a pop flash, actually. You can really drop some nasty ones there. And maybe he will with Hooksy on the way. He's up top, though. Got to be careful about his position. Can cast his shadow in that lower area. Again, and for those of you at home, the higher your shadow settings are, the further away you'll see them from. So never have your shadow settings on low, because you're denying yourself information.
Bombs coming towards B. Wow, great shot from Yakindar. That opening could make a massive difference in this round. Refresh hits the deck. Fantastic work from VP to get those kills there. Against the 3B stack, you've got to get some very quick headshots to be able to trade out like that. And they do so successfully. Now the question is, do Mad Lions want to give this retake a go? Acor's having a look, as is Roy. They're both coming from similar positions. Roy spots the first man out. He has a smoke as well, but Acor's been dealt with in the meantime, and that means Roy's got to get out of there. No way he's going to win this. He has to back away. VP now up to a 12th round win towards the B site this time round. Just some great shots from some of their players on the entries, making all the difference. And now VP are back on top. 3 rounds in their favor. At least Mad Lions still have some money in the bank, though. And it looks like Roy will be allowed to save his gun as well. Oh, he wants the AWP. I don't think he's getting it, though.
You want to hear something weird?
Go on, then.
If you're at the top of the ramp into B, the lower ramp,
yes.
If there's a CT on that blue train on top, where his shadow will show to you, if your shadow settings are on the lowest, you won't see any shadow at all.
Wow.
But if they're like medium or highest, then you will see his shadow. And I've seen it before in a game where a T's been standing there and didn't see clearly didn't see the shadow because his settings were on low. Not a mistake you want to make. Buster looking to get aggressive early, but the incendiaries will deny him. The bomb's been left literally in T spawn, which is a minor nuisance. And it will be collected. A waste of a journey. 2 players by Ivy for VP, although Sanji will be left in position to send some presence of his own. And clearly aggression from Mad Lions. Got to be careful there about KiNK. He has an angle. He could even flash forward him, but They're just going to run out, not really considering this angle whatsoever, which is very strange. Now the bomb's been dropped. This is looking disastrous for Virtus.pro.
That's a weird one. Oh, Acor lands another shot as well. He is starting to heat up on this CT side, as we somewhat anticipated. Yeah, I think Ikindar there was assuming it was just the AWP peeking A main. So as soon as he heard the missed shot, he thought he could just run across to safety. He didn't realize Hooksy was so close by though. So it looks a bit silly. And then from this point, Acor lands a really solid shot. Hooksy gets a kill onto KiNK, who was just trying to desperately get something towards the site to maybe cause some sort of chaos.
They had so much position, and then suddenly they didn't. However, they do still have another buy versus Pro, so seeing a lot of competitive rounds here with rifles on both sides. So that molly into the middle of the site again, which denies position for the CTs. Hooksy with a rabid play up B, deletes KiNK. Now surely fast forward versus Pro when they say bomb site, and indeed they start to stream in. Bomb deployed towards Sanji, and Buster will fall, making it a 5-on-3. Acor missing another flick, really not having a good time of things consistently, but 15 for 15 now. He is catching up, trying to plant a bomb, but refresh around Ivy will deny them. And now James is alone, spots one by stop sign, but where are the rest? Scoping around, trying to avoid the spray as well, which he knows is probably coming. Flashbang around the back, keep the gun out. Roy up the ladder. Oh, he's just trying to get around as fast as he can, but it will be a free kill for Roy. Fast rounds on the A bomb site, but they're all going mostly the way of Mad Lions.
2 in a row for Mad Lions. This aggression from Hooksy. Fantastic shot. Roy gets 1 from the bomb site. Hooksy even coming in on the flank there. That is deadly for VP, who were trying to get onto the site itself. And the Mad Lions players also just stay alive towards the back of the A bomb site the entire time. So those smokes start to fade from VP. The fast play was never going to be as easy. They could never really use their nades as effectively as they would have wanted. Definitely feels like both these teams are stepping up here as we get into crunch time, but Mad Lions are the ones coming back. KiNK getting aggressive early with the AK though. Has Hooksy heard this? I'm not sure. He's not looking this way. Hooksy is going to go down early.
Much needed frag with that AK-47. Must keep it in play. Half health now is KiNK, and they're backing off completely. They've got a man advantage, but again, you need to keep these pistols alive. Shush threatening aggression once again, and when these full buys come in from both squads, I wonder if VP will be forced to slow their pace down due to this aggression we've seen from Mad Lions here and there. Really been taking VP by surprise in some respects and shutting them down.
This is a whopping rotate from Mad Lions, considering they're against mostly pistols in this round. Got to make sure they don't concede a bomb plant on that A site. I think they're starting to realize that now, especially as Shush gets aggressive towards B. He's just peeked into brown halls, so he knows there's nothing here. He can tell his teammates, go back to A. I've got B covered for now. KiNK, oh, faking the flash down. Interesting. The flash actually blinded Roy, apparently, but he gets the kill nonetheless, and now pushed into Pockdog. This is a strong position to be in.
I think the worst is over in this round. Indeed it is, and Mad Lions have tied the score. 12 apiece, no bomb plant, but there is money for Virtus.pro. Didn't make it as expensive as I'm sure they would have liked to. But we'll see what they can do. James on the AWP once again.
Bottom fragging for VP as well.
Yeah, having
it's close.
The tougher side of things now on the T side. So Acor will have some advantages now on this CT side as far as the sniping is concerned. More utility, a lot more utility for the Mad Lions as well. It's nice molly to the Lolf position from Connector. Often you can find the Ivy player throwing it over the box. That was a useful one. James T spotted the helmet, but couldn't do anything with it.
Such an important round for VP here. If they win this, they can keep their money strong. They can get back to 13-12. All these rounds are going to be incredibly important, though, and Mad Lions have the right read. 3 players stacked on B to stop this fast play.
Yeah, that Incendiary is a great start. Shush will be taken out by James, however. Acor's activated as well. Roy's still defending his B bomb site as the numbers dwindle to almost nothing now. A late kill there from Virtus.pro, but Mad Lions survive with 3 and probably put VP in eco territory as they take the lead.
Really clean kills from Roy. Plucking that player out of the air with the AK headshot. Got the first one on the round on top of that. And then Acor arrives with the AWP. just able to land that shot towards ramp. Really solid stuff from Mad Lions this time, and VP were hoping that they could quickly catch maybe one or maybe two players on the B site, but when you don't use the nades for the full exec and you're just pushing with a couple of flashes, you're always going to be in trouble when there are 3 players stacked on B in that round. Really nice rotates from Mad Lions. They get into position quickly, and this is another timeout taken by Virtus.pro ahead of this round because their money isn't looking great. 2 players can afford to buy, but I assume we're going to see a half buy here.
Starting to look scary now, especially for the desk, considering how split the points were across these 2 teams for this series.
It's a nail biter, James.
It is. KiNK again with the hero AK-47. See if Sanji sacrifices a weapon in the next round, should they be unsuccessful on this one. They've got a fair amount of utility, though. They really don't want Mad Lions to pull away, so risks will be taken. See, KiNK's got places to be. Looking to maybe catch a peek from up top, but Shush will put a smoke in there. Hooksy aggressive, but again, that's a sound cue that can be heard, but the smoke will thwart any issues, I imagine. Could there be a pop flash here? Perhaps,
yeah, I think James lining one up. There it is, flash through. Hooksy not blinded. Headshot connects onto Yakinda. One of the players with the pistols out of the round. And now the issue for VP is they're going to start going back to B, but they must know that Hooksy's pushed in A main. So Mad Lions have a good amount of information towards A. They can probably start to get the read that it's more likely to be a B play. Hooksy's been able to push all the way through T-Con as well. So good information on the other side of the map. These 2 players on the B site should be pretty well prepared for Mad Lions. And it's another round where they're going to rotate a 3rd player over to B. A-Core arriving just in time.
Through the fire they go once again. KiNK taking so much damage, and he's seen absolutely no one on his B bomb site. Shush with an unusual angle. Roy trying to offer some cover, but Roy will be deleted, as will Shush. A-Core round the back, trying to do what he can. Got to hop off the ladder, though. And then there was just Sanji with the deagle. Last one to fall. Mad Lions hold. Virtus.pro planted a bomb at the very least. Took out 2 players, which will help. But Mad Lions are 2 away from victory here on Train after a very back-and-forth affair between these maps.
This early kill and that early ground gain for Mad Lions makes a huge difference here, because if there were only 2 CTs on the B site to begin with, VP would have actually got some kills and probably been able to push into the back lines. But with A-Core there as well on the AWP, he lands another shot. It helps Refresh be able to get out through Connector as well to get in towards the site. And as this game gets closer and closer, the timeouts continue to come through for both of these teams. This time it's Mad Lions who have called for the pause ahead of this round. Mad Lions definitely in the better spot here, though. 2-round lead, a bit of money in the bank for them, whereas VP have got to go flawless if they want to win this in regulation.
And the rounds the T sides have lost, there were 2 bomb plants on both halves. Mad Lions have now tied that statistic with the defuse in round number 26. So if it is to be a mirror, then what is left for Virtus.pro? They've got the guns out once again, but they haven't tasted success for a while. It's been 5 rounds in a row for Mad Lions. 2 away from moving up and sending Virtus.pro down a floor in the elevator.
Wow, that's so many mollies. They used 2 mollies at the start of the round as well to stop the early push out through A main. Now they've used 2 mollies into A main on the Mad Lions side. They really don't want to let that push happen. Look at how little utility Mad Lions have left. We're only 30 seconds in.
Yeah, that is quite the flame carpet in main. Now, you can see A-Core is playing reasonably close, basically playing sandwich with an AWP. So let's see how this one plays out. Mad Lions may be expectant of an IV play. Hooksy and Refresh in that regard with a focus on that position. But ladder room is the position where they have no cover and nobody watching it whatsoever. That's the hole in this defense. Maybe they're starting to wonder, okay, it's a pop flash play, but will it come in time? There it is from Hooksy. Does he get 2? He does. Great tracing on a jumping player. And suddenly there were 2. Virtus.pro have achieved nothing in this round thus far. KiNK and Buster got 35 seconds to, I don't even know what. Hold on to some AKs, I guess. They were denied any early plays.
Yes.
And they were denied anything else as well. They were just simply denied.
Yeah, the fact that Mad Lions have, I think, 1 or 2 flashes left, and that's what one of those flashes does for them, is unreal. They're going to be so happy with that. They're going to be elated that Refresh's flash gets 2 kills for them. And I've got to say, Hooksy is someone who we weren't sure how he would play at this sort of level. He's doing great. 21 kills, top fragging right now.
Everything lost in this round for Virtus.pro. Look at his second kill. That's not easy to do. Pretty quickly as well. And here we go. It's match point for Mad Lions. Winner advances to the upper bracket semi-final. There is a lot to play for here, not just in terms of money, prestige, and trophies. Virtus.pro lost so many rounds in a row. Mad Lions imposing their will on the CT side. Yekindar manages to make it out fast on this occasion. Smoke so he can survive. Moves close to Olaf to avoid the spray. Hooks, he knows he's there though. We'll see how that one plays out. Trying to attract attention on the A bomb site. While it seems they're looking to make inroads on B, but Mad Lions will use incendiaries up there as well to slow any intentions down from Virtus.pro.
Ooh, quick flash, quick push. Shush blinded, but Refresh is still here. Spray successful. Refresh makes it a second, and it is all going wrong for Virtus.pro, but KiNK comes back with 2. Those Galil kills could make all the difference in this round. They're going to get onto the B site. They're going to get the bomb down. Look at the health remaining on VP, though. That could be an issue.
Yekindar's on the flank. Hooksy had a quick look, but I do wonder if he'll have some hairs on the back of his head. Raising as that gets close to that flank. They're still alive as well on the site. He's going to have another look, but he just can't get that kill. Now Yekindar just needs to be present for a while. They're pressing on their Mad Lions. Very close indeed. There's one. James still alive now. Oh, he's missed a flick again, A-Core. That was crucial. Could have been a defuse in that maybe. But Virtus.pro on the edge of defeat managed to squeeze a round out just about.
VP will be so thankful for KiNK in this one. Refresh got these early 2 kills. It was the Galil remaining, and he got both of these trades just about dropping down before he can fall. Yekindar coming in on the flank, and then James just about gets both of those kills on the bomb site. It wasn't pretty, but it's a round for VP, and they need 2 more to take us to overtime, and we're going to see the same quick aggression. Yekindar last time took a lot of damage. This time, Yekindar's got all the way up. Molotov goes down, and he gets spammed through. Hooksy with the early kill, and Roy almost gets a chance for another. He gets it. Headshot connecting. Mad Lions with another 2-man lead.
I think Yekindar must have seen the run towards ladder on his POV as he made his way to Olaf as well. Either way, it's a 3 versus 5. Refresh standing in the smoke. What is his intention?
Oh, I don't know about this.
Yeah, these are 2 tight angles. It's a 50-50. Oh my God, he really showed why it was a tough push, but I like the confidence. But again, at this juncture, is this the time to make that play? Mad Lions don't have too much money if they lose this round. So we'll see if that was a timely risk or not. A minute on the clock for Virtus.pro. Buster still showing some presence towards B. Well, Sanji will still be hanging around Ivy as well. Big focus on the A-bomb site from both teams. That bomb has to be collected soon, however. James looking to punish a peak somewhere.
Yeah, they are running out of time here. They really are. 37 seconds, not many nades left. They've got a couple of flashes. James is going to look for the pick. This could be the round where they really need James to get them an opening. Sanji's going to start coming through Ivy. Only 2 CTs on A. These fights are going to be so important.
Yeah, A-Core considering a rotation though. He could take some nice angles with the AWP. There's got to be a trade here from Sanji. There has to be, just about. James with the crouch peek. 13 seconds to plant this bomb. There's no one at Ivy. They can't get a bomb plant here. A-Core's on the side. Does he go for something crazy? Sanji will deny, and suddenly it's Hooksy alone. 1 versus 2. They don't know where he's coming from. It's the only thing he's got going for him. Full health and a kit as well. James makes his way around towards main as Sanji lurks in hell. If he gets a kill on Sanji, surely James can catch the cross back. But Sanji will deliver the 4th kill. And again, you wonder about that push on Ivy because they could have some problems with the money. Roy on 2,600. My God. Are they choking?
Honestly, it looks like they might be because Sanji didn't look that comfortable with some of these kills.
That is a weird push.
Yeah, I don't understand the push. This spray was pretty poor. James lands a great shot up close. A-Core now has had a couple of chances in these rounds to land key shots in these clutch scenarios. He hasn't been able to do it. And when your coach is making a face like that, you know that it's not going well for you. They've got one more chance to win in regulation. The last timeout taken by Mad Lions ahead of this round. They know how important this is.
They have less utility than previously as well, and they've used it so well to deny Virtus.pro any movement, any counterplays, anything at all. So we'll see if this makes a difference. This has been Mad Lions' game to win for a while now. You can see that string of rounds on the CT side. Now that pressure is rising on these youngsters. There's a 3-man investment towards B from Mad Lions. What kind of funky player do they have intended here? We've got a flashbang, shush deleted. Oh my god, it's all falling to pieces.
Wow. KiNK transfers the spray. That setup is meant to be baiting someone in so that you can get that kill easily. And KiNK just says, nah, I'm not allowing that to happen. He gets 2 kills. Akor's going to go for the re-aggression. He's not spotted him, though. He's not spotted him yet. KiNK's up on that angle. Akor decides to back away. Mad Lions might have to do something here, though. In his 3v5, can they really just sit back and trade it out? I'm not so sure. Akor's going to make that move. He's going to move away from the B site, and this is the right decision. He's going to stack A. This could give Mad Lions a chance if VP were to hit this A bomb site. Oh, the bomb's going B, though. If the bomb goes B, they're so screwed, surely.
Roy's got a sound cues. Gambles have to be taken, but James is here with a P250. Roy's been baited. Akor and Refresh remain. They've got to go for it. It's the last round of regulation. Flames as Akor's blinded as he peeks. Lost half his health and hasn't seen anything at all. Now we've got pushes being made. KiNK getting close to connector. And Sanji's in CT spawn, so I don't fancy their chances, Mad Lions. Having to respect this smoke for now. Akor looking for the flank. This could hardly be worse, and I wonder about the psyche moving into the next round. KiNK surely heard a tag there onto Refresh. They've got to know at least one player is there, confirmed by the HE. On the way in now, they are the sandwich. They are the meat in the sandwich, in fact. And there's the trade. Mad Lions throwing this game away in normal time. We will indeed head to overtime, and perhaps everything is reset with momentum in Virtus.pro's favor.
It's nice getting the player cams as well, because you see how comfortable James is compared to how stressed Hooksy looks. The IGLs of both teams having very different looks on their faces right now. James sniping down 2 to close out the round. And what a way to start the playoffs here at Flashpoint. Overtime in the 3rd map of this first series. I am all here for it. AWP's out, double AWP setup now for Mad Lions. Perhaps that's what they've been waiting for.
Surely that's going to be quite a takeaway from the way they've been having success in these CT rounds. But we can see some aggression from Akor up top. He's got support from Shush on the high ground. Maybe there'll be a boost over this smoke.
Oh, yeah.
KiNK surely not expecting this. Oh, I think he spotted it. Akor having to jump, of course. There's a lot of spam now, but he's going to re-peek eventually, and that's what's going to happen.
Oh, he's so low. He gets away on 4 health. So VP have been throwing that smoke in the majority of the rounds there towards upper B. I think finally Mad Lions realized maybe there's something they can do against that. It still was difficult. He had to jump all the way up onto the box to get the vision properly. There were nades coming at them, but it is a clean kill for Mad Lions, even if it's cost Akor almost all of his health. Now we get to see what the response from VP is. They're starting to group up around this B site. No noise on the map right now. Plenty of nades left for Virtus.pro. They've got a couple of smokes and flashes at the ready. Sanji's going to be on that lurk once again. But Mad Lions are consistently rotating 3 players over to this B site, and they might have made that move at just the right time.
You can see Hooksy not looking to fight to the death. Just wants the info. And he'll reposition, but here comes the push onto the B bomb site. And again, there are 3 players here. Roy going through that smoke to get a very crucial kill, but look at the kill feed lighting up with bodies of the Mad Lions players. Shush with all of 3 HP up top, trying to do what he can. Noble effort. Refresh now, 1 versus 3, looking for the flank, just about missed it though. And Virtus.pro have taken the lead on the T side. You have to wonder about the psyche now for Mad Lions. I feel like from the Virtus.pro point of view, this was a game they'd already lost and were gifted away into overtime. So I don't feel like there'll be pressure on their shoulders. But for Mad Lions, looking to save embarrassment at this point.
That is a really frustrating round for them as well, because they get the right read, they stack the right site, they do everything right in theory, they're just unable to land their shots in some of these important kills. Sanji was able to come in on the flank, get some really important frags through. even with the man advantage, even with 3 players on B, Mad Lions still can't win the round. This is a weird smoke from the CTs. KiNK's going to move through that one. Still money, of course, in this overtime. We have the 16k starting money on, so that won't be an issue for either team. Hooksy going for this similar aggression. A.Core holding Ivy this time round. There are 2 Ts here against him. Smoke goes down, but A.Core goes through it. He wants to get involved, and that's a great shot. A.Core getting another opening kill for his team. This time, Mad Lions need to make sure they can close out this advantage. And again, it's a similar round. They're stacked towards B.
In they go. Utility towards the lower area, but up high is where the problems are. But there's an AUG to deal with that. And suddenly, James is alone. Can buy in the next round regardless, so one would presume he'll go for it. 49 seconds on the clock. Oh boy. All right then. 38 seconds, James. Never mind. Hooksy is here. And there's a round for Mad Lions. The score's tied once again, but who will lead moving into the second half of overtime?
That's the question. Furthermore, is 1 T round enough? Because both these teams were much better on their CT sides, it felt like. It was 10-5 for both halves. If VP were to get another T round, I think they would be happy with that. I think they'd go into the second half saying, we're in the better position. That is yet to be seen, though. This last round could be a pivotal one in deciding who has the advantage heading into that second half. 5 players on A early for Mad Lions. This is a fast B. They're not going to be here in time. Shush has a smoke out. He's going to be careful. There are 5 Ts there. He goes down, and this B site is lost so quickly.
What do you need 5 players for at the beginning of a round on the A bomb site? I don't know, but maybe it's a question Mad Lions will ask themselves of. They're in a 3 versus 5 now, all round the back. Roy's got to buy some space, but there'll be a refund as James will trade him immediately. 4 on 2 now. James with a nice angle by Oil if he's looking the right way. There we go, in the face no less. Leaving Hooksy as the last man to drop. Mad Lions with what are hard to argue against being mistakes here. Just picked the wrong rounds to put everybody through connector and the A bomb site. And now Virtus.pro have a 1-round lead as they move to the CT side. James topping the leaderboard as well. 25 for 17. A.Core not too far behind, but that is something they're going to regret for sure.
They'll definitely want that round back, but they're not going to get it. It's VP who get 2 rounds from the T side. Like I was saying earlier, they're going to be happy with that. On their CT side, they were winning a bunch of rounds. Now they've got the chance to do it again as the sides switch. Back to what we had from the first half. VP on that CT side. Early aggression from Mad Lions. Molly down. Forces Yikinda forwards. Buster's just got a double. Oh, man. Mad Lions losing out early. Those 2 players were trying to push through Olaf, and Buster must have lined them up from Ivy. Yeah, there are those 2 bodies lining up on the floor. Mad Lions in desperate straits now.
KiNK accidentally walked into that Molotov as he was pushing the ladder position, but realized he gave a sound cue away and just quickly fell back. Doesn't want to give Mad Lions away back into this round. No sound cues there. A.Core spots one in ladder. Oh no, he's mollied himself. Mad Lions, perhaps it's his nerves now. So they've really given this one away. Such a big opportunity. Not lost just yet though. They are on the ropes, however. A.Core just throwing the bomb away, trying to hold position, trying to distract as Mad Lions look to do something. They know 1 player's in ladder room. What a tough situation for them. Down he goes, and it's Yikinda who will get shot through the wall by A.Core. That's just the opening frag, though. There are 4 more to find.
And it's only Shush who can find him. Smoke goes out, gives away his position 100%. Shush going forwards, and James gets the final kill. 2 map points, 2 series points for Virtus.pro in our first best of 3 here in the playoffs. And you can just see how comfortable James is right now. He knows that they probably shouldn't even be here in overtime, but he is happy that they're here, and he's happy that they've got 2 chances to close this out. Oh, it's such a tight angle on that lineup.
Didn't know anything about that second kill, but what a great time to land it.
The clipping sometimes on that green train can be a bit weird as well. Sometimes you can actually shoot the train accidentally when it doesn't look like you're shooting the train, but Buster knows his angles.
Just what the server decides. What a turnaround. I can't believe my eyes. This was Mad Lions' game. It was. But then it really wasn't. They need two. The way they were imposing their will on the CT side was so impressive. But somehow they find themselves in this position. 2 match points for Virtus.pro. Mad Lions looking to breach the T side of Train. The choke points. Some of the most difficult choke points in the game. And there's no margin for error.
Some smokes being lined up. Hooksy's got one in hand, but there's a CT smoke deployed from Virtus.pro. That might give Mad Lions something else to think about here. Do they want to pop through this? Are they willing to take that risk? Because Sanji's still up close. A second smoke dropped. An AK up close. This could be deadly. If they try and push through this, Sanji's got a chance to line him up. The molly at his feet. Sanji's got to move. He's burning, and he's out of the round.
Look at the junk being thrown. The flashbangs, the smokes, the incendiaries. Mad Lions still in the choke point, 30 seconds. And there are more smokes being deployed. This is absolutely ridiculous. Sending smoke signals to people in space at this point, Virtus.pro. Yakinda trying to hold things down. Look how desperate it is. Up the ladder. How do they turn things around? There's only Buster remaining. How is this real life? 17 seconds. Shush picks up the bomb. 1 versus 2. Last seen Ivy rotating towards Connector.
Deagle out for Buster. Seeing if there's anyone up close. But Mad Lions play it safe. They've got great positions for this bomb. It's planted open. Buster still going with the Deagle. He wants a chance. He spots the head of the first man, but he doesn't know where that second player's playing from. As he sneaks onto the site, he's got to make noise, tapping the bomb. They're going to peek towards it, but Buster still looking for fight, still looking for something. Deag in hand, but A-Core denies him, and Mad Lions turn it round. Even though VP had everyone on the A site, they win the fights, and we're still alive. We're into the last round of this first overtime. It's still VP with the chance to close it out, but who the hell knows where this is going?
How on earth does Refresh... He's on the ladder! Surely he's on the ladder. That's divine intervention. There's outside help now for Mad Lions. I can't believe they turned that one around. Utterly ridiculous. What's even more ridiculous now is we've got 3 sniper rifles on the CT side, one of which is an auto sniper.
The Dat brought out into this round. KiNK currently playing on B with it, sitting in the back lines. There are 4 CTs on A though. Early mollies to deny aggression. Looks like Mad Lions are taking another slow round though, leaving the bomb behind right now. Yakinda are playing somewhat close to A main, but he's not pushed all the way in. Boost for Shush to clear some of these closer angles. Not too much aggression for VP here. They've still got these 2 players on B. KiNK has now gone back to the M4 for what it's worth. He's got rid of the auto sniper. He wants the rifle for the closer range angles. With just over a minute left on the clock, Mad Lions still yet to make any moves in this round. In fact, it's VP who have gone aggressive. Buster has pushed all the way into A main with this AWP.
How deep is he going to go with it? I can't believe all those smokes on main last round and they still somehow lost. I don't know how that one turned around. The grenades are being deployed, but where is the bomb headed? There's a flashbang over the top. Roy up close. What a flick from Buster. They've got the information now. They know it's a fake. They see the pushing into the B bomb site. They haven't seen the actual bomb just yet, but it's a 5 versus 3. The auto sniper collects it again. KiNK is still juggling it elsewhere. Oh my God. It's down to Refresh now. 25 seconds with the bomb. 1 versus 4. Standing in the smoke. Essentially double peek from Sanji and KiNK if they want it. Down to 19. He won't see any of it. They've lost it, Mad Lions. They had so many match points in normal time, but they've thrown it all away. And Virtus.pro have stolen the series. And you can see they think it's hilarious as well.
They're loving it. And Hooksy with the 1,000-yard stare at the end. They knew they had this game in their hands. It goes away from them. Buster in that last round, busting out the shotgun AWP close in A main. Really great shots. He heard those smokes being thrown. He decided to take the risk. And my God, did it pay off. Virtus.pro get the win, but this is a game that couldn't have been closer.
Yeah, that is an absolutely crazy finish. And I know some people on the desk are going to be gutted at how that one played out. And it will be thoughts to the desk on this one after the break. They'll see you soon.
It was a nail biter, but on Train, Virtus.pro barely pull it off in overtime versus Mad Lions. Now, Maui, you were very confident that this map favored Virtus.pro, but it really came down to the wire.
Yeah, I gotta give credit to Mad Lions. They had very good prep coming into this. You could see that Peacemaker has read some of the tendencies of VP, and Mad Lions were able to capitalize a couple of times because of it. But VP, at the end of the day, they were the more clutch team, and in those moments, even with man deficits, they were able to find the multi-frags in situations you just would not expect.
And I've got to give it up. It was the better AWPer one. In the end of the day, Jim was the one who came through in the big moments towards the end of the game. C.R.A.E had at least 2 or 3 really big moments in 1vx, 2vx, where point blank he just missed AWP shots that basically decided the game. And I've got to say, if there's one man must be feeling really bad on Mad Lions, it's going to be Refresh for that push when they were 5v3 CT side with full control of the map, and he just pushes out unnecessarily at the back alley. The same guy, Sanji, I think gets a 4K after that.
Yeah, you could see that was Peacemaker's face after the play that you mentioned. Broken up about an unnecessarily aggressive play right there. Always frustrating as a coach, especially when you put so much time into preparing for an opponent like we saw from Mad Lions here.
I mean, I agree with what I said. Like, when he said that, by the way, you might think because of the nature of the map, right, what was that, like, interesting, like, tactics on T-set? No, it was all the CT setups. Mad Lions had some ridiculous, like, they can't even call them reads because there was nothing to read. They just literally understood at certain times we can do gamble stacks, and they were working amazingly well.
Yeah, Mad Lions had 3 players be on the CT side so frequently without ever getting info in the round. They did it without getting T-Con, no ladder control, and also their mid-round flash timings for Ivy were perfect as well. We saw at least one of their players capitalize on that there, finding multi-frags because they just know the timings of VP. So going into this game, it looks like actually it was Mad Lions who did more homework. They actually proved that in the server today with their gambles, but VP just were able to edge them just barely.
And to speak to Virtus.pro's win here will be Yakindar, who is standing by with Freya.
Thank you very much indeed, Monty. Yes, I've got a very special treat in the form of Yakindar joining me. First of all, thank you so much for taking the time to have a chat with me. Congratulations on that win. I do want to ask, it looked incredibly close on Train to be closing things out there. How did you manage to push it into that OT when it looked like Mad Lions had some really great reads on you?
Hello. So basically, we understood that Mad Lions are prepared, especially after like Train those 3 B stacks all the time. I think it was like 5 or 6 times we were going on 3 or more players on B. So we understood we needed to change something. We started at the end of the game. We started playing a bit more breaking timings. The usual rounds that we would go out earlier, we started going out later, and it helped us win. And thank you for Refresh for pushing Ivy on 3 vs 5 and 15-12, if I'm not mistaken. But we believed till the end, and it worked out in the end. I'm glad.
Was there anything that you were able to find that momentum going into that overtime as well? Was there anything you were looking at the Mad Lions were doing that you knew you'd be able to counter now you'd seen it?
Yeah, because like after T-side was easier. I think we got like 2 rounds, right, in T-side in overtime. So it was a bit easier because we were losing a lot and we actually found the formula to win. So it was easier for us to play. But on CT side, we knew that they were taking rounds only on B and like late pop to T-con. And we knew all the time what's gonna happen. But one round we didn't capitalize, where we actually played really good. Like we smoked D-main when the execute was coming already, but we just didn't hit our shots and lost that round. But I think we should have won that as well. But it was easier in the end, of course.
I do want to go back to Inferno as well. Of course, your map pick coming into it. We saw Mad Lions actually having a really hot start there as well. So were there any key adaptations you were making there on a map that we've seen you have some comfort on recently?
I think no adaptations mostly. Oh, actually, we had some adaptation. We wanted to play that game through Banana, like taking control as T side on Banana, but it just couldn't work out because they were playing 3B a lot. And the adaptation we took, we started playing early A and insane kickers clutch 1 versus 2 on lane. That was the icebreaker for us.
I wanted to ask something about something you said to Maui Snake, I believe, about you feeling like you had a little bit less confidence on Inferno as a team recently. Why is that? What are the reasons for that?
Since we're always upgrading our game, we have a lot of stuff, and it's a bit hard to do all the stuff you have, right? And it's sometimes hard to do the right decision when you have a lot of options to choose from. And mostly that, but a bit of individual form loss as well from me. And a lot, actually, like I play really bad like lately, and I'm glad my team is still winning, and thank you for them for caring.
Yeah, I want to ask about that. I know I was chatting to you at Blast and you were saying a similar sort of sentiment that you feel like you have kind of lacked a bit of confidence in yourself recently. Why is that? And what are you doing to sort of fix that going forward?
Well, I mean, mostly I just can't kill most of the kills that I should be killing. And the adaptation between me not playing the full confidence that I like usually play, it makes me suffer. And it's pretty hard to like take care of it, but I'm trying to play as much as possible and just improve and just wait until it comes back.
I do want to ask you, Yukinder, to round things off for a little bit of a prediction, because of course we're going to be seeing Big taking on Envy next up here at Flashpoint 2. I'm wondering, do you see any world that Big lose out on this? Is there anything you're looking at from the Envy side as potential next opponents for you?
There's always that percent that Envy can win. As I said, that OG is gonna win against Genji like in group stage, but they didn't. And I'm not gonna say like 95%. Yeah, Big should be winning, but it's always possible that Envy could be winning.
You're very much right, Yukinder. There's always that small percentage. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. Congratulations on that win once again. And with that, we can send it back over to the desk.
Always lovely to hear from Yukinder there, who did reference the fact that he said that OG was 98% likely to win versus Gen.G. Turned out to be that 2% actually in the first round. So going back to some of the other things he was talking about, though, because we do have an example of some of the anti-stratting that Peacemaker put into play in that matchup, and you wanted to touch on round 27, Maui, to talk about how this preparation actually played out in game and around the Mad Lions won.
Yeah, so this is going to show just a really hard read coming out from Mad Lions. They don't have too much info on what's going on, but they have timings and they know what's going to happen. Hooksy getting that flash peek into there and actually finding those two players at Ivy. Really, the way that Mad Lions were able to break down VP in the mid-round was just so impressive, especially on their CT side. Somehow they weren't able to close that one out. Feel like there were a couple mistakes. Yukinder actually referenced the fact that Refresh made that critical error. But at the same time, you could see that Mad Lions just had a really good read about the timings. And that's something that like teams will know when they're going into a match, like what does a certain player do, but having it down to a T with actually knowing at 105 we should flash Ivy, something like that, it just goes to another level. It's a shame that Mad Lions weren't able to capitalize because you could see the work that they put into this matchup.
It's rich that Yukinder would thank Refresh because the guys from Mad Lions should have been sending a bouquet of flowers to Yukinder if they actually won this game. Like, aside from Inferno, where he had some good impact kills, he was pretty lackluster for the whole series, I thought. Like, where was he in this train game here? It was Jim that pulled his ass out of the fire. And I think on the other side of the equation, I called him out in the hype trailer that we basically put out and we showed during the break. Where is A-Core? He wasn't even the best player on his team. I think there was only something like 2 players in the whole server fragged less than him.
I will point out that A-Core did have a very solid group stage performance in Flashpoint 1.
I don't give a fuck about the group stage.
No,
playoffs.
What I'm saying is he disappeared during the Flashpoint 1 playoffs. It was Bubsky and Roy and Shush who were all stepping up during the playoffs in the championship they won.
Speaking of which, by the way, in this game, if they had have won this one, this game was Roy. That guy did an amazing job on CT side. Not only those pushes, the way he held the ladder room. That's one of the hardest spots in the whole game to play. He was consistently winning those duels. Like, if they'd have done that win, that would have been like the hard work win for a guy who isn't considered a talent.
Yeah, Roy definitely stepped up at that position, and it's not usually something you would expect because a lot of like high fragger people that just kind of read the default really well are good for that spot. Roy's usually kind of that good glue guy, maybe mid-late round guy, but the fact that he was taking so many opening duels at Pop Dog at the ladder room and actually coming out on top was, I mean, that just surprised all of us because the way he was able to shut down VP, that's not an easy team to shut down there. They're using nades, different types of peaks, different types of boosts, like the totem drop. Like they're throwing everything at him, but he was able to come out on top in that spot.
Yeah, and let's talk about how Virtus.pro sealed this win in overtime by looking at a specific replay here, because this is a very interesting five-man rush onto the B site in round 33 on Train, Maui, that I know you really enjoyed.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Giving 700 of my pinnacle points to VP. I was definitely rooting for them in the green room. But this was just VP actually coming out with the reads, whereas Mad Lions was on top of the anti-stratting this game. This was VP five-man rushing B in OT. They already had one round, so I think some of the pressure was off their shoulders there that they can gamble with something like this, but it was just perfect. They knew that Mad Lions at some point may run this 5A hit, and it's something that Mad Lions has done in the past, so they definitely did their homework on top of that. It was just the perfect time. It was really everything VP could have wanted, especially with James finding that opening frag there.
Yeah, and as we put this series to bed, Mad Lions, of course, are not going to be eliminated as a result of this. They drop down into our losers bracket. And this, it has to be said, this is going to be one of our most competitive series, I think, in the first round of our playoffs. So Mad Lions can definitely still make a losers bracket run here against many of the teams that they're likely to be facing. How does the prospects for Mad Lions right now? Because A-Core didn't really step up here. Shush did. And in spite of that, Mad Lions still lost. Looked like they had some really solid prep coming in as well.
Yeah, I think that Mad Lions should be pretty happy with any lower bracket matchup that they face. I think the likely ones are probably Envy, MIBR, Dignitas. They should clean house with any of those matchups. I don't think there's even a map veto advantage for any of those teams over Mad Lions. If it's MIBR, for example, I mean, they both like Nuke, but Mad Lions is so good at Nuke. So I feel like that would be the worst possible matchup, but it's still really in favor of Mad Lions. And A-Core, he hasn't stepped up today, but he tears up those lower tier teams every day of the week.
Like, the thing is, look at the series that Mad Lions have already played. So they had the one against Fnatic, which was all three maps. That was really tight. Fnatic's a team potentially at some point in the lower bracket. If you don't face them, OG's on the same part of the bracket. I think they could probably match up well against them. VP, they almost beat here. So unless someone like a Big goes down, I think Mad Lions is doing the lower bracket run. They're going to be in like the lower bracket semis, lower bracket final. They have a real chance still to make big impact on this tournament because look at what they did on Train. They have the map pool. They can match up against almost anyone in this tournament.
Yeah, very exciting that our Mad Lions, our defending champion, still has a very good shot here of making a good losers bracket run in spite of that loss. Virtus.pro will be advancing in our winners bracket to face the winner of Big versus Envy.